if somebody thinks about influencer marketing and start doing something there, keep trying. The world is changing, and you want to be a part of these changes.
Hey Alex, welcome to the show. How are you?
Fine, fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely. Today we talk about a few interesting things. We're gonna go through ROI, performance metrics, AI, of course, because everyone is talking about AI, the creator economy these days.
It's not possible to why I want conversation.
About that, we're gonna look into do's and don'ts. Then we're gonna also finish, with also something that we talked about in the past that is like, athletes and then how they're like doing these days. But so, there is a lot to jump on in today. But before we get started, usually ask like just, 1, 2 minutes to introduce yourself, but we do it in a way that is called a map. Basically, it's divided in three main sections. The mission, what do you have to achieve with your work? Achievements, anything that you're very proud of, any notable milestone in your career or life. The last one is the purpose. So why do you do what you do?
So basically, start with the mission. I think I do not have like short slogan version because what we have on the website is more kind of UBP for our customers. But I generally very like creator economy and where it leads the world because the products becomes more like diversified, more people oriented, and I actually want to make this movement kind of most like transparent, honest, effective, and it's kind of our mission. We start with the transparency and trying to make React economy better, I would say. About our achievements and my personal achievements, I would say the HypeAuditor so far is my greatest achievement because I was managed to build truly international company. We operate in like many countries, not only US but also European countries, Latin America, Asian countries, and that's fascinating to work and build worldwide company, work with the peoples around the world, and our reputation is also one of our achievements. We have hundreds and thousands publications with our data in different media sources, including biggest one, Forbes, like Business Insider, PR Week, Headweek, like TechCrunch, a lot of them. And that's also kind of cool to see representation of your work on the global scale and the purpose. It's probably the hardest thing, but for me, like purpose is kind of trying to do some meaningful impact because every like businessman, business leader trying to build business, thinking about money. But for me, it's also very important to do something impactful in a good way when I can be proud when I tell about my work for my kids and I can have some nice story for them. So this is kind of my way of measurement. As the purpose, I want to bring something that I can be proud of to humanity.
Amazing. And since you already mentioned, like, of course, in a funny way about measurement, but let's talk about that, right? Because both of us we've been in the industry for a long time, so we do remember, right, the times that at the beginning it was about awareness only. There were no tracking in place. It was so cloudy, so difficult, right? And it was just about, hey, I want to go on social media. Let's try this influencer marketing stuff. Then a few years ago, right, we moved from only brand awareness to more like performance metrics and so on. And then in the past couple of years, the majority of CMOs, the head of marketing out there, they've been like, okay, I want to do this, but what is going to be the ROI of the campaign, right? So tell me a bit more like, how do you see that? Like, what is the best way, right, to calculate ROI in influencer marketing these days? Have you identified some formulas or frameworks, right, that any type of companies out there, micro, macro, like big companies in different industries can actually use that to really understand, was this influencer marketing campaign successful for me or not?
That's generally a quite big topic because every company thinking about influencer marketing. It's so wide, but not every company succeeded in influencer marketing.
Yeah.
That's also true. And what we see, the best way to return your investments is for the company that find a way kind of to complex use of influencer marketing. If you're trying to just put the money for the campaign with the direct tracking and compare it to the paid ads, in the most ways, it's a pretty bad end because it's not the way how the influencer marketing built. But we see a lot of success for the companies who find the complex way. A huge market is e-commerce goods make influencer marketing campaigns because they can use influencer marketing in so many ways. They can get like uh, first reviewers, I would say, of their stuff. They can get the content they can use on their website. They can get the content they can use in their advertisement and get better conversion. Also, they have these direct users they get from the promotion with influencers. So they get kind of complex effects. You get something as a direct ROI trackable through link. You get something and that you save on the producing content, you get some CTR increase and get better return on your ads, and so on, so on. And they kind of build a good, complex system that drives business forward. And while other like complaining that nothing works, just comparing direct links traffic, those companies just go forward ahead their competitors because they found their way. And e-commerce niche is not the only one, but this is very like good example of how the products could be used in a good way through influencer marketing to return back on investment. So there is kind of will be no unified formula in this. You need to find where you can like amplify effectiveness of your business with some parts of influencer marketing, but you can build your own like unique formula. Save here, improve here, like get content to website here, like get sell this through the micro influencers here, and overall it will give you a great boost for your business. But unfortunately, it's a little bit more complex when it's just given a formula. That's
Mhm.
why we're speaking so much about it, because people need some time to understand this stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is not, one size fit all, right? The type of situation. When it comes to that, there are maybe some sort of like, again, formulas and framework that you can go back just as a, a sort of base, like, foundations. But of course, it has to be customized and tailored, right, on the industry that you're in and so on. But I like when you say that, and we say this all the time also. People like, again, think of influencer marketing as, pay to play action where I put $1 in and this is what I'm gonna get the same day. But as you said also before, it's not like that because you get much more right from the campaign. It's not just about the content. You got the content, you get all the discovery, all the audience, you get feedback, real time comments, right? You if you pay extra, you can get media rights. Those media rights you can put them on your website, right? Those videos you can boost certain videos, right? That have that UGC style, right? So there's so much more, right? And I think that yeah, I agree. Like up until the client and the brand doesn't understand all the value that it gets in an influencer marketing campaign, and they only look at I put $1 in, I want to get $7 out today. That is usually what I read around, on the internet. Is like, okay, we might not be on the same page, on that, yeah, on that yet.
Yeah, yeah, there's many expectations like a magic wand or something like this, but unfortunately, nothing in the marketing in any channel works like a magic wand. You still need
Exactly.
work.
And what I say all the time is that if a marketer said the word guaranteed, is not a marketer. That's usually what we can do our best, but if you guarantee anything in marketing, there is something a bit sketchy for me to be honest, because it's better.
Yeah, And speaking about ROI, there is also interesting part that it's not only marketing. To be honest, speaking about influencer marketing, because it brings so much feedback, as you said, about the product,
Yeah.
and you need to understand to succeed in influencer marketing, you need to have a good products that will fit the audience you targeted. They need to like it. They need to have a good impression about it. It's impossible to sell average products for influencer marketing. You would just
Yeah.
get a lot of feedback that the product is kind of average. That's all.
Hello! Is your brand ready to amplify its reach? Well, the Influencer Marketing Factory is here to do just that. We are a global influencer marketing agency helping brands ignite their growth, from influencer identification to campaign strategy, handling legalities and agreements to managing shipping and logistics. We have it all covered. We work with hundreds of brands across different verticals, from Fortune 500 companies to DTC brands. And we don't just stop there. With detailed ROI analysis, we help brands like yours measure success, transforming impressions into actionable conversions. You can find us at the influencermarketingfactory.com or just search the Influencer Marketing Factory on Google.
Absolutely. And that is actually also something good, right? Because many brands get in with a new product, a new service. They think that it's going to be a blast and everyone is going to love it. And then actually, thanks to influencer marketing and thanks to, again, kind of like unhinged type of comments from people, they can actually see, do people love this? Do people hate it? What would they change, right? What I said this like a thousand times, but the comment section is basically your focus group, right? That you can actually like learn from, right? So that is also part, in my opinion, of the ROI. It's not just about, again, as you said, marketing is also sales cycles. It is, there is so much right going on there. And from ROI again, let's move to again the topic that we were saying everyone is talking about. Of course, it's a buzzword, AI. So let's go away from the buzzword of AI, right? From the generic things there. Let's go really more a bit more into actual items. Let's talk about also like maybe some do's and don'ts, right, of AI in the creator economy, because right, there are people using like creators saying influencers using AI as a support. There are others that are being completely replaced, right? We've been seeing a lot of AI avatars that are given a prompt and they can actually recreate thousands of videos, right? And they're put on social media. So let's start with that. Like, in your opinion, based on what you've been seeing, right, on social media these days, some do's and don'ts of the creator economy that you would recommend to both creators and also maybe companies that are looking into AI for influencer marketing.
Sure, that is a lot of helpful stuff that you can do with AI, but also a lot of creative. We will touch both. Speaking about helpful stuff, actually, it helps a lot with the like connecting. Basically, it's what like products like HypeAuditor do. It's what can be automated in other ways. It's helping to find right brands and right influencers, because previously, like without AI having like some narrow niche, you will spend like a lot of time trying to find like right influencers, and usually only those who are in the very top get a lot of brand attention, get like a lot of companies who want to give them money, but all the rest, like starting from the middle and lower, get nothing. But sometimes there is like much better fit with the small influencers, especially when you have like narrow niche, and AI helping to leverage this to next level, save time with the companies finding these influencers. Next thing to do that is great is simplified ways of communication. It's just on the start, but I imagine this like in the 2 3 years, like there will be assistant on one side, assistant on the another side. They will just communicate. Find do they have like dots to connect, and if there are like meaningful conversation going on, then the real people talk, and we will save all the time scrolling through these
Hmm.
unended emails that are very generic anyway. Does AI write them or human write them? It's just unending line of the email. So this is kind of assistance is very helpful. Well, you already understand, okay, this is good brand for me, this is good influencer for me. We mentioned somehow on the how much it could cost. Do I promote this type products or not? This is save a lot of time. And also one of the already working ways to use AI is to boost your creative. It is already so good in it. Even like the chat GPT from the box, you can say to it, like work for me like influencer marketing expert and give me ideas about my product, about which influencers I need. And same stuff for the influencers. So they can ask like what ideas I can bring on, with whom I can work. It's already works wonderful, giving you this field of ideas. And about don'ts, what actually feels creepy and don't recommend it to do. Fully generic stuff. Nowadays, it's looks like another way to spam. When you scroll on TikTok and get this fully automated, scripted something, feels just a bunch of trash added to the internet, nothing more, and not no authenticity. They are like virtual influencers, which are created by human, which give personality or something like this, like Lil Michaela or other like virtual influencers. This stuff is cool. This is totally different. This feels authentic. This feels like real influencers, but all this generic stuff with the features like reading some text, even when they start to read it good, it still there is like no authenticity, and there are you have understanding that there are just people trying to make some fast money, just uploading the tons of this generic stuff, and it's actually platform fighting with it, I think, but in average, it's makes you experience with the social networks worse, I would say, at the moment. So I wouldn't recommend like to like replace human authenticity with some like fully generated stuff.
Mm.
And also like expect from AI to make decisions for you. We are also not in this stage. Even if you ask about it, idea campaigns, even if you can analyze something, give advices, give like good ideas, give you like basically food for your brain, but you still need to use your brain. If you will just follow what AI said, it would be still a very creepy, hallucinating journey. So use it as a field of ideas, but no, not as instruction of what to do.
Yeah, yeah. Especially since there are still AI hallucinating, right? And coming up with completely fabricated things. I've been seeing on the news people following like medical advice from ChatGPT and going to the hospital, right? Because they follow by like again AI as it was a doctor, and look at what happened there. So yes, like I would not also recommend to like again it's a great support, right? But as you said, you need your brain, you need your style. Also, like AI as of now is only able to basically refine and analyze things based on data that already exists out there. So the creativity part is missing, right? The AI as of now cannot create anything new. Maybe the idea to you can be new if you never heard about it, but it means that it was in a data set of billion and billions of items out there. But it cannot, as of now at least, come out with anything that is totally new, right? So if you are working in marketing in creative, you want your brain as a human being and be like, okay, this is that genius, right? That comes totally to humor right now. So that's also usually what I recommend, right? To use it as a support, but if you want to make a difference in the marketing, scene, has to come from you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, it's kind of be it can be a food for your brain to kind of make a way for some ideas, but as I say, you can't just follow.
Absolutely. And so, like if AI, right, as we said, it's all about not all about, right? But there are certain now profiles, right, that are completely AI generated. It's a bit difficult to trust them, right? Are they real? Are they not real? I can feel there is like this sort of, again, gap between me and them because I can see they're not real there, right? The opposite of it, it's still real people, and one of the ones that have been like, growing a lot in terms of interest are athletes, right? We talk about it in other episodes. We even recently did a blog post about athletes as influencers, right? So first of all, why do you think that now all the NIL, like, discussions, right, is getting to almost the next level, right? And secondly, do you have any either case studies or data, right, from HypeAuditor that maybe you can tell us, like, why now? Like, athletes has been there for ages, right? But why all in the past few years, like, there's been like this influx and interest in that?
I think that's it's some moment in the time that was right. The interest was always there, but I think there are like several things happen. First, like the legal, when they get allowed to get all these paid contracts, all the stuff, and they still continue to be like professional athletes. It's very important. Point also like general outcome when everybody wants to be an influencer, even if you an athlete, even if you like some kind of musician, actor, anyway, you still want to be an influencer because like social networks give you like so much and give you additional like brand contracts, they give you additional exposure, personality, and so on and so on. And I think every young people in our age thinking about like how to develop their social networks, and they have everything like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the stuff. And why the athletes specifically is so hot topic, I think because the connection with the athletes is so much better than the other celebrities. Like from the HypeAuditor data, for example, we compare them for lifestyle, for example, influencers of the same size, and the engagement rate of young athletes was almost 50% higher in average. Yeah, so their audience is much more engaged because they're not just some guy girl which have a cool lifestyle and I like watch how they having breakfast, but it's kind of fun model when I have like some guy who are like my heart with him. I watch every game. It's a little bit different. They have really like strong following their community, and brands feel it, and they see this opportunity. They also want to reach young audiences who are following these people because it's their future customers, especially big companies. But still, at this level, it's much more affordable. So the market is explode. First year when it was allowed to make these brand contracts, this year alone bring around 900 millions for this young athletes, but there is like very big difference. So like top five and especially top 1% make a lot of money, and there is like a big tail who are doing not so well. So it's also not like everyone having like huge success as in every niche. There are like even from the young athletes, there are like big celebrities and somebody who is doing average. But especially for the like food brands, for like sport brands, something like this. So like it's a very good opportunity to find a connection with the young audience, and you have like a bonus stake on the here if you make long-term contract and guy or girl becomes like a superstar, you get additional bonuses. It's kind of like bidding on your stake. So
That's true. Yeah, yeah. It's a hit or miss, right? Like in that situation. But if you hit it well, there have been plenty of cases where someone was just scouted maybe, an athlete that then went on the Olympics or national teams, and they signed a contract maybe with a way lower prices, but right, because that person was not that known, and then boom, they become like one of the top players, and maybe for another year or 2 years or 3 years, right, you do have a contract with them, and they become your ambassador for a fraction of a price, right, that you might have paid if only, right, you waited a bit more. So and I also agree when you say that, athletes work well on several different industries and verticals, right? You can have food and bev, of course, but also beauty product, right? You have like there is so much, right? Because an athlete, they have a healthy lifestyle, and there are so many things like sneakers that you have to try on, things for your body, mental health, right? Like there is so much, right, to that you can actually use that. So pretty interesting. And Alex, I think that with this, right, this was the last topic of today. Again, we went through quite quickly, but full of information about ROI and influencer marketing in 2025, right? And then AI, big buzzword, but still, very interesting to see into the do's and don'ts, and then finishing with again like athletes and how brands can really use them in the best way possible. So thank you, Alex, for joining me today and for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a very interesting conversation, but the buzzwords is like starting to work nowadays. We live in the wonderful ages, so it's cool to have this conversation and see how many things start to work. So if somebody thinks about influencer marketing and start doing something there, keep trying. The world is changing, and you want to be a part of these changes.
I agree, 100%. If not, you're already late to the game. This was the Influence Factor by the Influencer Marketing Factory, and I'll see you in the next episode.